Says I'm to speak on the celebration of love and joy. We've been doing that for an hour and a half. Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts, and I'm just thinking of the kids here. You don't know me. No. But there really is. Peter said it really well. There's a tsunami of love from those your mother's touched with her life, and it's your legacy. It's your inheritance from your mother. Just as we listened to her just now, just pour out love for each one of you. It's astounding. As I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, it was a couple weeks ago. I was on the phone with David and Marcia, and I have a chronically ill daughter, and she's gone through much, and her and Marcia just have kind of pulled from afar for each other, kind of made a pact. Whoever got healed first would go find the other one and finish things up. There's this verse in Hebrews 11 is about just these giants of faith, and just listening to the stories about Marcia and her life. There's this verse in 11, and like I said, it's talking about these giants of faith, those that have gone before us. But in verse 38 it says, talking about these giants of faith, of whom the world was not worthy. And I just feel some people that walk this earth, the earth isn't worthy of it. They're more ethereal than they are grounded. And some have said she was so grounded, but there was something so ethereal that it was easy for her to go up. I think of the extravagant love of our Heavenly Father that she spoke of. This extravagant lover in our Heavenly Father. There's a story in Luke 15, and I'll just recount it for you quickly, but there's this dad. He's got a couple boys, and one of them comes to him and says, "Dad, I just feel that I want to go try some things. I want to go do some things. Can I have my inheritance now?" And this extravagant father goes, "Yes, of course, go for it. Here's all you need and more." Now, I look around and I can tell many of you are probably parents. And if you had a son that came to you and said, "Can I have some money? I'm going to go start this really cool business. Oh, it's an opportunity of a lifetime." "Oh, how much do you need?" "Like 25 grand just to get started." And for me, that would be a big ask. Maybe for some of you, not as much, but it's a big amount of money. And you give him the money, and off he goes. And maybe 2 weeks later, you get this phone call. And in the phone call, he just starts up with, "Oh, Dad, I got to tell you, we had the best party we've ever had." No, I'm serious. The band was amazing. We got some of the best. No, I don't even want to begin to tell you the fun we had. But the reason I'm calling is I still need that 25 grand. What do you think, Dad? And if you're like me, phrases like "you made your bed," and I'm so thankful that's not who our Heavenly Father is. You see, this was an old Jewish man. His son went off to a far land. That land had a hard time. He found himself living with pigs. This is a Jewish boy living with pigs. And as he sat there eating with the pigs, he thought, "My dad is so generous. He's so kind. He's so extravagant. Oh, his love is so large. If I went home, I could be one of the servants because he treats them well." And so he heads home with this in mind, that if I could just get home, because his dad's love was pulling him home. And as he just breached the hillside. You see this little old Jewish man, he was scanning the horizon. He was waiting for his boy to come home. He was longing for his boy to come home. And just as he reached the hill, it says he pulls up his loins. Or so he pulls up his robes and his coat, and he begins to run to his boy. And he runs not slowly but quickly. He runs because it was common in those days if a young man went off and embarrassed the family, that the neighbors would gather around and they would stone him. They wouldn't kill him, but they would let him know that what you did there, young man, was not okay. And so this extravagant father, he runs to this boy, and the first thing he does to him is he kisses him. No, this is semi-agricultural. You know what pigs are. You know what it's like to be near pigs. This boy's been living with pigs, eating what they wouldn't eat. The father throws his arms around him, and he kisses him. He says, boy, you're home. You're home. And then, if it was me, I would have put a horse blanket on him. I would have snuck him home. I would have fattened him up for a few weeks. And then we would talk. But he puts his best robe, the best he has. He covers his shame. He doesn't want his boy to go home in shame. And then he puts a signet ring, saying, if my son says it, it's as if I say it. He has the same authority that I have. Oh, but it gets better than that. You see, I picture in his robe, he had these little pockets sewn in. And in those pockets, he had sandals. And he puts them on his son's feet. He goes, son, you are not going to take one step further without sandals on your feet. You see, sons, daughters, they wear sandals. Slaves, they go barefoot. He was not going to come home. He was not going to take another step without knowing who he was, without his father embracing him, embracing who he was. Oh, beloved, but it gets even better than that. This extravagant love of the one that Marcia called Daddy God. He said, my boy was lost and now he's found. He walked in darkness and now he's in light. We're going to have a party. We're going to have the best party we've ever had. We're going to have an extravagant party. Beloved, that's what our Father is offering for us today. Marcia is a forerunner. She is in the biggest party she's ever been in. She was the one that made the big parties. Oh, our Father is saying, turn to me with the slightest glance, just one look, and he'll come running. He'll come running to you. I just want to end with this one verse. And it's Psalm 16, verse 11. It says, you will show me the path of life. This is Daddy God. He wants to show us the path of life. He's shown Marcia, he's shown these kids, David, the path of life. But then it says, in your presence, in the presence of Daddy God, is the fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures evermore. That's who he is. That's what we've been celebrating. This extravagant love of Daddy God. And this beautiful life reflecting that love that Marcia let us all glimpse in. So I just thank you.